Hi there and welcome to our garage. This is the Indien Panzer, a Tier VIII German medium tank on the Tech Tree line, which you will need to grind through. Fortunately, we now have this big, long, huge 90mm gun on our one. The earlier guns on this tank, as with all tanks, the sort of Tier 7, Tier 8, Tier 9, the first guns are going to be a pain. We've got the big one. Just to keep this tank amazingly average, we're going to have a very average loadout. In terms of ammo, that's pretty much the way I load up every tank. I don't go crazy on the premium ammo, unless there's really a good reason to. No equipment on this tank whatsoever, and the crew has one skill, which is 6th Sense. Now, in a lot of information you get about this tank, it's all about this gun here, and it's all about staying away, getting around the edges of the battle, getting down the flanks, having some nice long lines of sight and lines of fire, using your 10 degrees of depression on your gun and your quite nice bouncy turret to just pop up and down over ridges and get people from far away. For its tier, its gun is quite accurate. It does have a slow aiming time compared to some of its peers. Penetration is pretty good. There's certainly lower tanks that I've got in my garage, and obviously you're going to be facing Tier 9, Tier 10 tanks, so the penetration can be quite an issue. Now, the armour. Body wise, as anyone will tell you really, it hasn't really got much. It's got quite a nice slopey front. The fact it's lower glacis is as thick as the upper glacis can catch a few people out, but the fact that it's got a nice flat panel of armour across the front there kind of cancels that benefit out. It's all about the turret really, which as you'll notice has no cupola on top. There's no weak spot on top of it. It's got this nice rounded armour. It's got a nice big mantlet on the front. So basically this tank is all about the turret and the gun, and it's got good mobility, and that's something you need to make use of too when the opportunity arises. Now, as I put some camo on in the background, I shall just basically make it plain. I love this game. I'm not by any means an excellent player. I'm average as far as I'm concerned. I love playing it. I have fun playing it. I try to play so the team wins. That is usually my goal, and if I feel I've done my best and got the best I could out of whatever I happen to be driving in whatever crazy situation the game has flung me into, then I'm happy with that. I know there are players that can absolutely control a game. I'm lucky enough to play in platoon with some of them. They are crazy. I will never be as good as them, but most of us are kind of like me, I think. And here we are on Muravanka. I've come out to a flank with a small group of teammates, including one of our Tier 9 heavies, an E75, although I'm not too impressed with the way he might go a little bit crazy. There you go, my first little spot is Tier 9 Centurion, who gives me a nice little hit. Not a great way to start the game, but drop back. The problem is he's almost certainly got friends. There they are. It's the T95E, whatever it is, and we'll go for his cupola and get it. There's a nice little weak spot which we don't have in our Indien Panzer, remember. Basically we're going to trade some shots here. I'm just trying to make a bit of a nuisance of myself. I can't pull up really onto the top of this hill. I'll take so much fire. There's a horrible flat bit of ground just the other side of this which I can't go near. I will die, I'm sure, in this tank, especially with these lower hit points. So I'm just going to try to make the best of where I am and just make mischief basically. The guys in the middle, I can't get to them. I would die if I tried to get over there to actually get involved in that fight, and I'm keeping these guys away from that fight by keeping them busy over here. That's my attitude anyway. Me and this T95E2, we're still exchanging shots. In fact, over here now we've got two T95E2s, a Legion and a Centurion, buzzing around. Yeah, there you go, over there amongst that ridge line. I'm also conscious of the, down to my left there's still plenty of space there for people to get around, so if I was to pull into the map, as it were, these guys could really badly flank us. So I'm just sat here, I've just got to hold this position, and finally in the hat. Goodbye. One down and loads to go. There you go, Legion in the hat as well. I mean, the biggest hat on the game. Very good weak point. After hit, that's the thing. He's kept it moving. A lot of people will wiggle their tanks around like crazy, but then when they're trying to do that, they're making themselves less accurate, so that's okay. Right, Ferdinand, you may wonder why I'm even bothering to fire this the standard ammo at the Ferdinand. No, I'm just having a go. You know, I'm experimenting. Even, you know, I might break his gun. I don't want to waste all that premium ammo just yet. There's still tier 9 heavies on the other side. I might run into those yet, so we'll see what we can do. And it's just, I'm just here just plugging away really. That's all I can do. Try to keep myself alive, keep moving. There is that tier 9 Centurion that started all this in the first place, so I'm particularly pleased that you set him on fire and he's blown up. So there you go. Right, we've got our heavy out in front of us, and he's stepped up to the plate and he's been tanking like a good one. So yeah, I'm trying to take a bit of attention from him. The other T95E2 tries to flank him, so I pop out there. The Ferdinand is still out in front of us, so biggest problem now is the Legion, which I don't know, you can see him there, he's over on the right, he's got him behind that cottage, and unfortunately there you go, he's flanked the heavy and managed to take him out. The T29 on our team is now coming across the map, which is nice. It's nice to have a little bit of support. The pattern is coming at me, I'm sure he's going to charge me, and I am going to run. I have done a little calculation in my head. Those last hit points, that's armor. I can't face that Legion because his front is too bouncy for me to risk it and him getting around me. So luckily, there you go, the RNG is on my side. I've managed to get away with that one. I will use my health as armor, if you see what I mean. I'm not afraid to do that. I do push my luck and I do die a lot. Now it's me in the third land. He's definitely getting some premium ammo now. He does have the worry of the T29 on his flank, which basically means he can't just sit and wait for me, which is ideally what he'd want to do. So he has to start moving. I know he's moving. He can't really aim that well, so I'm going to have another look, and there you go. Auto aim, well, I could have aimed that one in, but there you go, it worked. Very good for testing lines of sight, the auto aim. Anyway, I am now going to whiz across the battlefield. I'm going to speed the footage up. As you will see, I've got damaged tracks, but the mobility on this tank isn't really hampered in any way whatsoever. It's still quite manoeuvrable. And then I have a quick look at how we're getting on, and to my shock and horror, I find out that I'm kind of responsible for most of the deaths on the other team's list, which is bad, because if it's all down to me, then it's not very good. Here we go. I'm now going to cut across the back of the map. It's empty. As I said, the mobility of your tank is self-evident here. It's one of its good points. If you are playing that game where you can get around the edge of the battle, it's a great tank to do it. What I am not going to do here is trip the siren on the capture point, because I do not want people to know where I am. And here we are. We've now got a spot on a Tiger II. It's 4 against 4 now, but they've got heavies and we haven't, and I'm battered. Living on borrowed time as far as I'm concerned here, but still I'm being careful not to get too near that cap circle. I don't want to set it off accidentally. Tiger II, there we go, we've hurt his gun as well. Now this is where the Indien Panzer likes to live. I'm not spotted, I've got time to let the gun aim in, and I tracked the Tiger II anyway, but there you go. But this is, this is where this tank really likes to be, and can make the most of it. Oh, another one, not getting the kills, but my teammate gets the kill, and I'm going to say good shot, because you've got to encourage your troops, and I'm just glad he's dead. I really never stress about who gets the kill shot. E75, here we go. Didn't want to meet him. I think we've only got one premium shell left, but here we go. Can we get a shot on the E75? The first one just went off anyway. There's an ammo rack in there somewhere, which we don't get, but we've got one on the E75. There you go, that's good. And he's seen me and is bye me. But my Indien Panzer bounces the E75. He doesn't let me down. Thank God, because yeah, there you go. Well, we're still alive. It's now 2 on 2, and if you'll recall, when I looked at the scoreboard earlier, I'd got 5 kills. The guy over here who's in the CDC, he had 0 kills. I'm battered to pieces. I'm not really intending on going anywhere. I want to try and cap this one out, because basically if they both get in the cap, what use am I going to be? I don't know, they could both be on full health. I'm kind of tending to play it safe. By sitting here now, I'm dragging them to me, hopefully. So I could move, I could get into cover, but then I'm going to ruin my camouflage. Do remember the Indien Panzer has a very poor spotting range. It's 380 meters, which sounds great, but that E75 actually had a better spotting range than me. A lot of tank destroyers do. This is not really a frontline spotting tank, which is a bit silly. I think maybe that is something that could be rebalanced a little bit, because what's the point of being a medium tank when you're outspotted by the heavy tanks? And tank destroyers you'll try to either spot or spot for, especially in higher tier games. There you go, I've misjudged that completely. It's the super Pershing. I don't know if I could have done better than that. The snapshot was my one effort. There you go, I'm dead. It's all now in the hands of the gods, or should I say it's actually now in the hands of my teammate. So there you go, that's the tank. I ended up dead. I pushed my luck completely. Keep the tank moving, make a pest of yourself when you get stuck like that, and don't stand still. If people can start picking shots on your tank, then you're in trouble. Luckily Artie left us alone completely, that was not an issue. And here we are. Psycho Pooch has now located the last tank, the Lerva. Two tanks that people don't really sing the praises of much. CDC, I've not heard too many good things about, but Psycho Pooch needs to know how to handle it. So let's see what he does. I would imagine it's French, so his gun is probably not very accurate. He probably has very little armour, but he's probably quite agile, so they're the things he's probably got to use to his advantage. The Lerva, never driven one, can't tell you. So he does basically exactly what he needs to do, which is drive away, disengage. He can't exchange shots with that Lerva, he knows it. So you redeploy, and there you go. Whether the Lerva wants to sit still, or as he has done now, move out of the way, is entirely up to him. It's probably the best move for him to move, makes it a little bit more tricky for our friend here to find him. But here we go, how is this going to pan out? Who knows? He goes for his shot, and his tank hits the ground. The Lerva misses him. This is so close now. He gets his hit in. The Lerva can still take one more. And he takes a hit and he kills him. Look at that. It was down to the last minuscule percentages of hit points and we won. And here we go. The results are in. We got nearly 1700 base XP, which is very, very nice. How we stayed alive that long, I don't really know. RNG, thank you. Lots of lovely shiny medals, a first class mastery badge, which is always nice, and look at us up there. In fact, by the look of it, it's pretty much 3 of us killed their entire team there. Well done, Psycho Pooch. Right, another match, similar situation, but a little bit different. I'm going to talk about the team a bit more in this one. Now again, I've come out to this weak flank, and we're on mines, obviously, which is one of the maps you find on day one. I think my first ever World of Tanks match was probably on this map, like most other people's. Now this T29 is showing me the one bit of a tank he doesn't want to be showing off, and I'll happily take advantage of that. And I'm thinking of getting another shot, but I'm not letting that Sherman get across me. If he gets down into that dip and gets around me, unfortunately the only other tank that came right out here, the light tank, has already died. I think he tried to duke it out. You could see actually initially all 3 tanks up on that hill were looking at him and not me. That's the power of light tanks. And I got a lucky kill shot, as you saw, into the T29. So it's me and the Type 95 and the Legion. And my priority really now is to keep the guys spotted, because I need the TDs behind me to try and get some fire up there. The Legion, as you see, this is when the Legions have really just first come out, and the front is ever so bouncy, especially at range when you can't really rely on the shell not dipping down into the upper glasses like that. So it's definitely go for that hat any opportunity you can. I know I'm still chucking shots across there rather than aiming, but I'm really trying not to get hit, and I'm trying to annoy them and keep them spotted, really is my priority. The thing is, I know from being on that hill, there you go, it is hat, fantastic. I know from being on that hill, if you're not spotted, you can dash down into the water in front of me and you can get around the island bit hill that I'm on, without the guys down at the bottom of the map, those TDs really being able to get a decent shot on you. But because I'm keeping you spotted, if they try to push down there, hopefully those TDs would rip them to pieces, and they know that. So me being here keeping them spotted is keeping them on that hill. Now, in terms of the rest of the game, I'm pleased to say our strong flank has pushed at least a couple of the tanks. Rather than sit back on that corner getting worried, have pushed, and I think they did lose one. The oddest thing about this game is the middle of the map is pretty much empty. I know there's probably one, maybe two enemy tanks left somewhere in that middle hill. Now, as anyone who plays this map will know, usually that big fight is in the middle, and our flanking force there would have got annihilated if the enemy had got up on that hill, got into that central section and flanked them. But it hasn't happened. What can you say? You can only deal with what's in front of you. Unfortunately, I'm hanging out. I am now down to like the last sliver, 2.5% of my health, I think that is. The T32 has now pulled around next to me. He's taken some fire, which is great. These guys have kind of lost all hope, I think. I keep letting them lose the spot now. I don't need to keep them spotted, so I can let them forget about me, pop up, take another cheeky shot. That is basically all I can do now. So let me do that. Let me rely on the gun and take my time. Now basically I had a long break from the game, and I'm talking months and months and months. I came back just in time to buy some nice tanks in the sale, sort of Black Friday time. I've had to deal with at least 6 maps I'd never seen before, and then, you know, I'd forgotten lots and lots of stuff. So I'm getting the back there. I'm taking my games easy. I'm staying alive a lot more. I'm finishing games. Here he goes. The Indien Panzer back in his long range snipey mode. I snapped the first shot because I actually thought I was going to lose the line of sight on him. But there you go. What can you say? Get one into him. And then we got my old friend, that T95 from up on the hill. Now, you know, well, that was just me kissing the rock. We spent a lot of time together. Give him a bit of appreciation, but even me with my 2.5% of health left, I'm still not gonna let him go without saying hello and goodbye. There you go. My work is done here. The rest of the team have done splendidly. We won the match. I held on to my little hill. Job done as far as I'm concerned. And there you go, we've won the match. We've done pretty well. That was a bit of a sloggy match for this map. It was very odd, but there you go. Here we go, the scores are in. 1200 base XP, that's alright, I'm happy with that. Medals, blah blah blah. Got all these weird operations going on at Christmas, which is quite fun. I keep being very naughty. I'm getting 1 crew XP. Iron Will, that's for getting a steel wool medal in my Indien Panzer, guys. There you go. Spartan, steel wool, got some spot damage, there you go. That's me in my Indien Panzer, clinging on to life, whilst being as much of a nuisance as I possibly could make myself. So lots of, kind of a, you know, look at those scores. Again, nobody's bossed this game, we've all done our bit, we've all worked hard, and we won, which is always good. The T95 on the other team, I don't know if you saw there, he had a brilliant game, lots of damage, I'm glad I got him. It can go wrong. Look at me here. I'm stuck on the flank. I've gone to have a look. 1 hit, 2 hits, back off. Heal your driver so you can get into cover a bit quicker, but no, you've been flanked. And I have games that start like that. I'm sure everybody does. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. We may well make another one of these. Goodbye.